we're going to play with the ideas, procession, and return. We're going to approach it, of course, from a Platonic tradition. And therefore, there's one idea we need to make sure we see right from the beginning. And so you see it right here on the next page. All I have to do is write it down. That's the idea of potential. Consider. Everything we say follows from this one word. Let's consider it this way. The last time we met, we developed this curious idea that if we can understand relationships and we added a very interesting word to it all, if we understand human relationships, then we should gain an insight into certain common features which are found in all relationships. Any relationship. Now, last time we explored a young man by the name of, what was his name? Manny. And he indeed was pursuing a young lady by the name of Sarah. And by detailing what's involved in that kind of a relationship, we went the next step and said, those things you can say about this relationship will give you an insight into any relationship, and therefore we explored it and we discovered quite a few things. And then we made the quick change and we said, everything that we said about Manny, you can also say, therefore, about mind. Everything you say about Sarah, you can equally say about soul. Because man's particular problem involves relationships. That is to say, remember first, though, we said soul we're going to call exactly the way in which the Greeks saw it, which it has three paramount features. It commands you to do things because it has some plan for you to do things, and you make a plan because you care. And therefore, those things come together and presuppose the existence of something that can do those things in a unity, and that very same thing is said to bring with it life or vitality. So therefore, that's what we mean by soul. Now, then we said, did we not? We said, by heavens, you know what? This relationship can be described this way. Here is Manny, and he wants to get into a relationship with Sarah. And therefore, we could equally talk about the relationship between mind and soul, for certainly we are aware of the fact that we have mind. We have mind. And therefore, the best thing to do in understanding the human condition is be able to understand this possession of mind, or this participation by soul and mind. Of course, the other side of the relationship equally is present, is it not? That soul obviously then must command its body, and therefore man is in the situation, interestingly enough, that he has two immediate things to which he relates: body and mind. But in principle, whatever properties you discover in general between any two is equally applicable all the way up. And we equally said, did we not, that in this Platonic vision, above mind, which is another word, we could call it being, intelligence. These are hyphenated terms, as we said before, and being. There stands the idea of oneness. Beyond that is the one, or the ultimate good. So therefore, you see, man is in a relationship with mind, he's in a relationship with his body, and part of us wants to understand this entire chain and the best we can understand and experience that to that degree, we're able to make a oneness with our mind, intuition, experience of the totality of what exists, for this is the totality of what exists. Well, that's what we played with last week, right? And certain things we said which were rather interesting, did we not? We said, first of all, just to quickly review, that for this relationship to exist, it presupposes a transference of power. All relationships presuppose a transfer, a transfer in some way, or a transition. Transfer or transition of power. That is to say, Manny, seeing Sarah, it awakens in him an idea. And let's assume now that he has this idea and he sees something about Sarah, he now then acts. So therefore, he must have a power. That idea must be the cause. He must have a power, internal power, that keeps himself together, keeps him active. But then there's an additional power, an external power. And that external power, remember what we said, that's what allows him then to engage in an activity. He makes the first move, as it were, to Sarah. So therefore there's a cause, the idea he has in his mind. He has a certain power that keeps himself together. He has an additional amount of power that allows him to proceed towards Sarah, and that allows him therefore to have an activity, to extend an activity. And so